this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a most marvelous day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we like it or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. But we are required to love one another. And today, I want to profile this young athlete. This young man is Noah Lyles, and he is a world champion track and field sprinter. He is a sprinting sensation, and he's the champion in the 200 meters and the holder of the American record. He is one of the most exciting sprinters in athletics, and I might add that sportscasters are calling him the successor to Usain Bolt, who was really one of the most exciting sprinters in history. Noah Lyles was born in Gainesville, Florida, and he is 26 years old. Now, he's been on the track and field circuit for a long time, and he gives pretty good interviews. But recently, he pissed off the NBA, who calls themselves world champions, and he said this.
World champion of what? The United States? Don't get me wrong. I love the U.S. at times, but that ain't the world. That is not the world. We are the world. We have almost every country out here fighting, thriving, putting on their flag to show that they are represented. There ain't no flags in the NBA.
And he said this after winning his third championship in the men's 200 meters. The comment was part of his response to a question about the state of track and field. And as he talked about his frustration over the lack of attention for some of the sports stars, even after they've proven themselves against the best competition in the world, he was showing respect for his sport and for his competitors. And I like that about him. And he's not wrong for saying that they're not world champions, because they're not competing against the world. They're American teams competing against American teams. They're not competing against the world. And so the NBA says, well, we have the best players from all over the world. But that's not the same thing as you playing the best team in the world. Russians playing on an American basketball team is not the same as an American basketball team playing Russia. You go into Russia and play against them in Russia or somewhere like that. So he said they're not world champions, they're national champions. So a lot of the basketball players, including Gilbert Arenas and some of the others, tried to make some slick remarks to him, but so far I don't think he's apologized for it, because many people agree with him. I agree with him too. They are national champions. They're not world champions. But that's not really the reason that I agree with Noah Lyles. The black basketball players used to be something for black people to look up on with pride. Black people were very proud of them, but for some reason, when so many of these black people gain money and fame, they can't wait to show their ass to black people. They move away from the black community, not only physically, but emotionally. And then they brag about these non-black women. Yes, I'm going there. All of these foreign women that they think are so great and they put up on a pedestal. And they behave as if they think being a basketball player is a very important thing. And so when Noah Lyles sort of burst their bubble, yeah, it gave me a good bit of pleasure, because it's really not important. It's a means of them making money, sometimes bringing their families out of generational poverty, and then planting a seed for the next generation. They don't do that. They spend the money on strip clubs, baby mamas, cars that depreciate the minute you drive them off the lot, jewelry, and houses that they can't afford. It is astonishing how when they get a contract, some of them will go out and buy a house worth several $1 million, not even realizing that they got to pay taxes on that money. And for about 75 to 80% of them, 5 years after they retire, after making all of that money, they are broke because they didn't handle the money right. So I just think that it wouldn't hurt them to have a reality check in the form of somebody telling them, you are not the world. So when Noah Lyles decided to put a pin in their balloon, I kind of like that. Because, sometimes you need to be brought back down to earth. They aren't really world champions. They are national champions. And I enjoy watching the games sometime, but I really do not like the fact that black people are so eager to give money away when they could be building things in our communities. We talk about schools. We talk about grocery stores. We talk about medical centers. We talk about a number of things that we can have in our neighborhoods to make them better. No, they're not required to do that. Yes, they can do whatever they want to do with their money. That's understood. But other communities are built by the people in the community gaining wealth and putting it back in the community. So, yeah, I thought it was great. He said, world champions of what? You are not world champions. So, yeah, I did kind of like that. Y'all forgive me if it's mean, but I did like that. And then there's another reason why I like Noah Lyles. He does not exhibit a contagious case of jungle fever. He does not seem to have jungle fever. His significant other is a black Jamaican sprinter named Janelle Brumfield. She is beautiful. They make a lovely couple. And what's wrong with uplifting a woman in your own race and put her in the spotlight for a change? It is unusual for an athlete of his caliber to be sporting around with a dark-skinned black woman. But obviously he sees the beauty in this very exotic looking woman. And he makes a big statement. He makes a statement by showing up on the red carpet with a black woman. Because the rest of them seem to feel like they are not really balling like they ought to be balling unless they got a Becky on their arms. And it doesn't matter how much money she's going to hit him up for later. In the moment, they seem to be in hog heaven. So I really like Noah Lyles for this reason. He shows a social consciousness, and this is really showing pride in himself by showing pride in a woman that looks something about like him. So I just say shout out to Noah Lyles. He is a new kind of black sports hero. And you notice that nobody has really reported this. If he was going with a white woman, it would be all over social media. O'Shea Duke Jackson would have made 2 or 3 videos about it. And others would be talking about, oh, he got him a Becky or she a lead Latino. But he didn't. He decided to put a woman from his own community on his arms. And one more thing. I like the fact that he said what he said about the NBA. And he really doesn't seem to care what they think about it, because a lot of them came out trying to talk slick about him at the beginning. I don't think he's responded. Now some of the ones who actually agree with him are coming out and saying, yeah, he received a lot of backlash, from the NBA, but they probably don't even know how to read a map anyway. But I don't know how the rest of the country feels about it. But anybody who knows how to read a map knows that the United States is not the world. So I really applaud him, and I hope he keeps speaking out because he's intelligent. He does not come across as a dumb jock. He comes across as somebody who cares about his sport, and he cares about the people who participate in his sport because they work just as hard as NBA and NFL athletes. It takes a lot of training for them to get in those races and run that fast in such a short period of time. So Noah Lyles will go down in history as not only a great American sprinter, but as a black male athlete who called out the NBA and told them that what they are calling themselves is not correct. He really took the sports world by surprise by saying that, because he is black and they're black. And so he's not showing any loyalty to them by trying to make them think that they're world champions when they're not. So, okay. So, okay, y'all. That's all I got to say about this. And let me know what you think about it. Subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Share the video. And as always, have a great day.